Hello again, Tarot friends. This is Ultraviolet Morgan with part 2 of the walkthrough of the Aleister Crowley Thoth Tarot deck. And we are on the Devil card. So, one of the first things that I noticed with the Devil card is we have this goat, and I believe that he is standing at the base of the Tree of Life. The deck is very based off of the Tree of Life, the Kabbalic Tree of Life, and I have not studied this card as far as in relation to that, but I do believe that is what is being portrayed, is that this goat is standing at the base, and underneath the so there's a level that is the material world, and then there's what's underneath. So here we have these two spheres which contain entrapped, enslaved humans who are, in the underworld in order to be punished for all of eternity. And they're doing all these things to try to get out, but of course they can't. And then we have the goat who stands there, and then the goat has his staff, which is also very Egyptian in nature. And the goat also has the third eye, and he has these very, very long twirly horns. And then this is probably, this ring here is everything above this level, and I'm not sure exactly what level. I'm assuming that this is the base level, and that in order to move above it, you would have to go through this sort of ring here. And then one thing that I really appreciate about this card is the abstract quality of these sort of spiderwebby things, and I don't think they were ever intended to specifically be anything, but when I look at them, what I see is I see a dragon here. Here's the wing, and here's sort of a dragon, and his head kind of goes behind this, and then over here I see this guy. This is an eye, this is a nose. He's got these sort of bucky teeth. He's got this little body and an arm here, and then he's got this little hat even. So he's kind of he kind of looks like Ebenezer Scrooge. But I don't know that any of that was at all intended, but I see that, and he also sort of looks like the Mad Hatter or whatever, but I just find it interesting, and I enjoy the abstractions that allow my intuition to be able to speak with my to speak with my intuition, or through my intuition when I do a reading. So that is the Devil. Now here's the Tower card. The very first time I saw the Tower card, I just said whoa a lot of times, because all I felt was the sensation of falling, and it wasn't terrifying or anything. It's hard to explain, but visually, looking at it, I felt this falling sensation over and over again. As soon as I would say whoa and start to say something else, I'd say whoa again, because I just, So, again, as I said before, these cards have, for me, they're more visceral than verbal. And this reminds me very much of the painting, I think it's Descending the Stairs or whatever. By Picasso. I think it's by Picasso. It might be by one of the other people who painted in that style, but which is another word. I'm always having a hard time with my words lately. But I'm still gonna try. Okay, then we have the Star, which to me, as far as I can tell, I believe it's meant to be the water bearer, Aquarius. If it's not, then I don't know, because that's pretty much the first thing that comes to mind. I love the swirling lines with her hair that just goes on forever. And then here in the star, we have this swirling. We have this star and this star with a swirl and this star with a swirl. And then we have these down here, which remind me of Starry, Starry Night, which is Vincent van Gogh. And just the continuous circling motion of the star. And yeah, I just really like, oh, I was saying before that this makes me think of when you let water out of a drain and it spins as it goes down. Because my daughter, when she was little, she kind of personified that. She befriended the swirl that went down the drain, and so that's kind of a thing in our lives. But I do think that speaks to a lot of forces in the universe, and so I think that's really interesting in its respect. Alright, here is the moon card, and this is really interesting because we have the towers that we normally have. We have the pathway. We have, this is again very abstract, and you know, different from what we're used to. We have the dog and the wolf. This could very well be the scorpion climbing out of the water, raising up. But it, again, it's very abstract, so it's not, and that fits the moon card because the moon is kind of all about things being illusory and confusing and not what they seem, and not being able to quite make out what things are. And then we also have the moon here, and even here on the moon there's this red path, and then there are these yachts coming down. I think, I'm not sure if those are yachts or another, I think they're yachts. And so was really thing with this card is that you see all of the elements that you expect to see, but in ways that you completely do not expect to see them. And so to me that really grabs my attention. And again, the way that the abstract way that kind of opens your mind up a little bit more. And then that's what I like about abstract art. It's very sort of mind opening. And then we have two Anubises in the towers, which makes me wonder about the towers in the moon card, if they're towers where, are they towers that we go towards to be judged? Do they represent death? Do they represent where we go after death? I mean, I never thought that's what the towers in the moon card were, but this card gives me pause to wonder about those sorts of things, because why is there an Anubis in each one? I think that's Anubis. The sun card is very radiant. It's radiating outward. It's very, it actually sort of makes me think of Willy Wonka. It's very like Candyman. The Candyman can, I don't know, it gives me a Candyman sort of vibe. But it's, of course, happy and jubilant and all the things that the sun are supposed to be. So, and there's again a rose, like similar to the Rosy Cross in the sun. And I think that if you when you look at these cards, you're going to see a lot of sort of Easter eggs of a lot of repeated sort of motifs like that. And then on the outside, there are zodiac signs, which is also very interesting. And our planets do go around the sun, so, you know. Let's see, then we have the Eon. Here's the Eon card, which is really fascinating. Again, with the layers, we have this person, and then we have this outer person, and then we have this over person. And then we have this, I just noticed this sort of Yod symbol here. And within the flames, it looks like babies that are waiting to be born. So I did read a little bit about there being 3 eons, and supposedly we're in the 3rd. So maybe that's what these represent, the birth of the 3 eons. That's just a guess. And we have wings down here that are, that look like Isis wings. Isis, the Egyptian goddess, not ISIS, the terrorist organization. Let's see. Then we have the universe, which is the card 22. Instead of the world, we have the universe. We still have the Taurus, the bull, the eagle, I believe that is, a person for Virgo. This looks like a tiger, so I'm not really sure. But these represent the 4 elements and the 4 corners, and I think there was the 4. They may be the 4 cardinal signs, or one of each sign, probably from one specific grouping. I'm not sure if they're the cardinal signs, but and then the world dancer is dancing, and then there's an eye with, you know, emanations. And that's another thing about the Kabbalistic tree of life, is that it's actually all about emanations. So each Sephiroth or Sephiroth, they all emanate from the top one, I believe. I'm just learning a little bit, but so I'm pretty sure that the emanations from the eyes represent the emanations of the tree of life, probably from the crown Sephiroth. I was going to say chakra. The chakra system does align with it if you kind of study how they can align. It's not, you know, it could be confusing at first, but so, and then we have the Fool. The card 0 comes at the end this time, and the Fool card is, to me, this card is very, very busy compared to a lot of others, and it's also very frenetic. That's not the word I want. That's not the word that I used earlier. But there's a lot of energy. It feels very jumbled. It feels like jumbled energy. It feels like he's ready to go, but he doesn't have a plan. He doesn't have focus or any of those things, and there's positive and minuses of those things, but yeah, the energy is all sort of everywhere with the Fool, in my opinion. Of course, this whole video is my opinion, right? Then we have the Knight of Wands, and the Knights and the Kings. So the Knights and the Thoth are the kings from the Rider-Waite-Smith, except the Knights in this deck, which are the kings, are the ones on the horses, like the Knights, which are knights in the Rider-Waite-Smith. And in this deck, the Knights are princes. So there's some sort of overlap. I do know that each horse, there are 4 knights, and they each face a different diagonal. So this one goes this way to this way, and there's one that goes this way to this way, and one that goes this way to this way, and one that goes this way to this way. And there's one that has sort of more curve to it. But they each have a directional, cross-quarter direction in which they move. And I do believe that there's significance to that, but this isn't a tutorial, it's just a walkthrough, so. So I like this because it's very, very fiery, and that's what wands are supposed to be. And one thing I really don't like about Rider-Waite-Smith is that the wands are not very fiery. The wands are extremely fiery in this deck. Look at the Queen of Wands. She is boss babe, man. She is. The Queen of Wands for me is kind of like a role model type person. It's not a person I identify with, but she's she's just someone that you sort of would look up to, I suppose. She's got this amazing charisma and energy, and she's just so powerful. And I feel like all of that is really captured here in this. And then her cat ends up being this sort of cheetah-looking thing. But, you know, with Rider-Waite-Smith, we're told over and over and over again that wands are fire, wands correspond with fire, and the wands never show fire, they never look fiery in any way. So that was always a little bit confusing. So I really love the fire element, the way that the elements really are shown in this deck. The Prince of Wands. Now the princes are all, as far as I know, are all on chariots. And this prince, look at how his body language is super open. He's sort of crouched, but he's supported, and he's moving forward. There's a lion. There's rays. Again, a lot of movement in this card. So it's really capturing all of the sort of wand energy that you'd want from this card. Okay. And there's the person on the chariot. Then we have the Princess of Wands. And again, this one feels very childlike and playful, with the slide, and also and then here is a flame, and at the base of the flame are all of these flowers, I believe. So this also makes me feel like the Candyman can, because he mixes it with love and makes the world taste good. I do not know what the heck this is. It sort of reminds me of a butterfly. So is this person like half butterfly? Or do they have something weird on their head? I don't know. Then we have Oppression, 10 of Wands. Oops. And then we have Strength. And it looks, again, these cards are visceral, so, I mean, to me, I really feel like that's very well portrayed, that you can feel the strength of that. Swiftness, I think you can feel speed, although to me these sort of lightning bolt lines give me a real jittery kind of feeling, a jittery type of energy that I don't really associate with swiftness. Because I think of swift as being a little bit more elegant, I suppose, a little bit more steady. So I'm not sure, but that's kind of my first thoughts on that. And then Valor. So here's Valor. Wow. And there's all kinds of details happening. Sorry, I gotta clean this card off because I don't know what's on it, but I could feel something, a texture that wasn't supposed to be there. And I obviously put it there because the cards came wrapped, so here we have victory, and you definitely get that sense. And also, again, with the little flames, you get that celebratory sense of victory through this card. Then we have strife. This card doesn't feel overwhelmingly like strife. I think I can get it, I can see it, but I'm not sure I would have looked at it and said strife. I don't know. Or felt strife, I guess. Completion, this is really good. This is perfect. So the Four of Wands is completion, and in the middle we still have the fire, but the fire is contained within the circle, and it's complete. It's the completion of that situation, or that, I would say that it's the completion of the fire itself being built and built safely, and now it's, burning. So, virtue. And if you look, we have the Aries sign at the bottom and the sun. So, Aries sun is virtue. So, that's interesting. Then we have 2 as dominion. 2 of Wands as dominion. We're already into 21 minutes. I talk too much. So then we have the Ace of Wands, and this is really gorgeous. This is probably one of my favorite, like, Ace of Wands pip style cards, because I also plan to do some extensive study on the Marseille Tarot, and that Ace of Wands, it sort of does an optical illusion thing to me, that I see not what it's trying to show me, but I don't care for the depiction that I normally see, and I just feel like this is really powerful. There's so much power in it. It's like you can just really feel that Ace of Wands energy. And all of the lightning. And the lightning is perfect because I feel like Ace of Wands is really all about the light bulb moment and the inspiration from above, which, lightning actually goes from the ground up, apparently, but to us, we believe that it's something coming down from the sky, aka the heavens. So, that's where we get all these ideas that we have about lightning and genius and creativity and energy and inspiration. And so I just feel like that, and I'm gonna guess that there's probably 10 of these. Not only that, but I just noticed something else. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Of course, there are 10. And so, once again, we're dealing with emanations. We have this big club, and we have the 10 coming out. And then once I noticed that, I also noticed that back here, these lines, these paths are the same paths as the Tree of Life. So this is a Tree of Life wand, and each one of these is the representative of a Sephiroth. And so this is an Ace of Wands is all about creation, and it's all about exactly what it needs to be about, to be an Ace of Wands. So it's really beautiful, and yeah, it's just really beautiful and on point. Now I'm at 24 minutes, so I'm going to go ahead and just call this part 2. I'm sorry that I didn't get through very many cards with part 2, but I will be back shortly with part 3. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to subscribe and click the bell if you want the next update, and if you want to just give a little quick thumbs up, that helps support the channel, and it also helps you because it'll tell Facebook that this is the kind of video you like, and it'll show you more similar ones. Additionally, I enjoy all of your comments, so please comment below, and I will do my ever-loving best to comment right back. Thank you and have a great day. Until the next time, tarot friends, be well.